Okay, this is the PPT. Okay. Okay, can you see the PPT correctly? Yes or no?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, thank you, because I didn't hear you. Well, this is summary of the most important parts of this production process. Obviously, I try to take the most important aspects of it. This class will be for the following aims or objectives. Classify the 3 stages of a TV program production. This is the first objective. The second one, explain the production process of a TV program. That is to say, to give the most important idea, or not details about it, but just identify the different stages of production. 3, identify the equipment required for TV production. And 4, describe the work profile of key professionals involved in a program production. And Jesus, I have the problem spelling. Okay, those are the objectives for this class. Okay, so let me see. Stop video. Okay, so let's continue. I've got a chat here. Good morning, Lisette. Good morning. So the pre-production. Remember, the first objective was to classify the 3 stages of this TV program production, no? So this stage, the pre-production stage, includes everything you do before entering the studio or reaching the shooting location. Everything that you have to do is to plan and program what you are going to do. So that's the idea in this stage, no? It involves idea generation. Remember that the first part of the role play workshop is about the brainstorming, no? Well, the brainstorming or the idea generation is considered in the pre-production stage. What else? Research about specific topics or issues. Scripting. Well, scripting has to do with the continuity of a audiovisual project. So the idea here is to see, for example, okay, let me see. So you are going to be in charge of the continuity of the program. Okay, this is first, this is second, etc. Discussions with all the crew members and talents. Well, if it's possible, no, if it's required. For example, actors, actresses, etc. No, other presenters, conductors, etc. Arranging equipment. Okay, everything will depend on the type of program that you choose. If you are shooting an outdoor location, obviously you will require less equipment than doing it, for example, in a studio. No, that's the idea of arranging equipment. A video, audio tapes, facilities. If we are talking about outdoor shooting, you need to know where you are going, or the crew is going to stay for how long. What about, for example, the budget? I mean, the money required for those shooting process. And if you are talking about a studio TV program, well, in that case, maybe you need some appliances there, ornaments, etc., no lights, etc. Well, the costumes, if it's necessary, depending on the program, sets designing, location hunting, and booking of editing shifts. Okay, everything. Well, the booking and the location hunting has to do with the outdoor shooting. So this stage is quite important because it's in here when the professionals take the decision of what you are going to do for the audience. Okay, so in this case, you have to present all your ideas in a brainstorming way. and then you have to pitch it, no? Pitch it. You have to make your pitch and trying to be very creative and very appealing and involving for the producer to choose it, and of course to run the program that you have pitched before. Any question to this stage? Have you got any question about this stage? No? Okay, let's continue. Okay, so the first thing to know about production is what you want the program to look like. But obviously, the objective or the aim of your pitch will depend on the type of program that you want to broadcast. Okay? So you need a clear idea of what you want to make. A clear idea. That's why the meetings, when we have, for example, planning or production meetings or pre-production meetings, has to do with to set a lot of different ideas and try to make it more interesting. And of course, the idea that you're going to present in your pitch must be clear enough to be understood. Okay, so only then you will be able to make a good program. So you need something which is planned, already planned. So nothing at random. No, nothing at random. Everything has to be programmed and planned previously. It has to be understandable by the audience. Sometimes when there's a disorder in the production stages, maybe the audience will not understand what is the objective of the program. It's very common when we watch those talk shows, including, for example, different politicians. So the idea or the concept of the program is to inform the audience about a specific social problem, or maybe some important aspects about a law about social affairs. But sometimes the program goes to a disorder. So in this case, all the presenter, all the guests start talking different topics, and they are not focused on the objective of that meeting or interview. So that's why the audience at the end of it, they don't understand anything, so they change and move to another program. So what's the idea? To be understandable and to be clear enough for the audience to like. That's the idea, to like and continue watching the program. So what happens next? Once it is clear, the next stage is how to get from the idea to the television image. Well, once you have everything planned, so this is what I want to broadcast, this is what I want to present to the audience. Okay, so now you have to go to a second stage in which you have to put everything that you have written, or maybe you have talked in the meeting or interview. Maybe that's the next stage in which you have to produce it, and you have to make this script or those words or concepts into a television image. So to translate an idea on a screen effectively, you need a good and detailed script. No? Well, this is like a cycle, no? So we start giving ideas, presenting things that are appealing to the audience and to the rest of people. Some the producer takes a decision to say, okay, this is what we are going to do. Okay, so we have 3 different ideas. So what have you got there? What about the research? Did you research? Did you make a research about the topic? Everything has been talked and planned. Okay, so then the next stage is the second stage, in which you have to, like it says there, to translate the idea on a screen. So in all, it involves planning everything in advance. This is a pre-production stage, planning everything in advance, And this is very essential to get desired results. If you have worked well in this stage of program production, the other two stages que tienen relación con production and post-production stage become easy and workable. So what is the most important stage? Obviously is the pre-production stage, because there is which requires programming and planning effectively. Okay, so up to here, have you got any question with the pre-production stage? The objective of it? What do you do in a pre-production meeting? What is the objective for it? Have you got any question?
No, miss.
Okay, thank you very much for answering. So let's continue. Okay, what about the production? Well, this is a stage when you are on the studio floor or on a location, depending if you, for example, chose a outdoor shooting and are ready to shoot or are actually shooting. It includes managing all the facilities, handling of talent and crew members, controlling the crowd, shooting without obstacles, and solving any problem relating on the spot at that time. Well, as I said before, the production stage is the stage in which you are already shooting, okay? Or maybe you are ready to do it. So everything is planned, everything is programmed, so let's do it. So there you will find a lot of different obstacles and problems, maybe problems of equipment, maybe an integrant of the crew was not available at this specific time of shooting. Well, whatever it is the stage in which you have everything ready to film, maybe in a studio or maybe outdoor. Okay, that's the idea. So, question here? No? Okay, what happens when you have all the shootings ready? Okay, in a studio or outdoor, okay, everything is ready and you have your shooting, you have your recording, you have your audio, you have your visual resources ready. Then you pass to the post-production stage. In this third stage of program production, it's when you get the final shape of the program. So in this stage, the script is very important. Remember the continuity of a program is the key for a program to be seen as appealing to the audience. So there, it includes cutting the recorded visuals into appropriate length. Well, in this stage, you will find a lot of different concepts that you studied. I mean, vocabulary, no? Vocabulary. What happens then? Arranging the visuals in a proper sequence. Ahí también teníamos conceptos relacionados con eso. Cuando hablábamos, por ejemplo, de cómo tú organizabas los diferentes shootings, etc., ¿no? Yeah. Y teníamos, bueno, los diferentes, el intercut, if you are going to include effects to this, and of course, you have the shot list of every filming process, etc. Now, if a mix is necessary, if you have the time code of the shootings or images, etc. Now, in this case, there are, if you remember the concept of the clip spotter, well, in this stage, the clip spotter is necessary. No, the clip spotter is when it's about what or which sections are going to be used in a program. So maybe you have, for example, different clips, and then you choose the most appealing or the most interesting shots to be included in your program. Well, as you know, when we have a TV program, two aims or objectives have seen, if it's in a studio or if it's outdoor, but also if it's, for example, a recorder program or a live program. So everything or all the obstacles will be In the second stage, the post-production, or if you have a recording program, of course, you will have the opportunity to mix, to combine, to cut, to intercut, and to make it or make the program interesting for the audience, no? So there, apart from the visual resources or audiovisual resources, you have commentary recording, music, sound recording. I insist, know the effects, and final assembly of the entire program. So everything is ready here, completed. Questions? Okay, well, this, yes?
No, me.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, this part has to do with the first aim for the class. Classify the 3 stages of TV program production, okay? The pre-production, the production, and the post-production stage. Okay, so what about the equipment required? Teníamos nosotros PPT, un PPT donde incluíamos el equipamiento que íbamos a trabajar. Se explicaba, hablábamos de cámara, de micrófono. Bueno, acá traté de resumir un poco el uso de ellos y el objetivo de cada uno de estos equipamientos accesorios, ¿no? If you want to make a good program on television, you need some essential equipment like camera lights, sound recorder, etc. We can categorize the basic production elements as follows. Y acá lo más importante es nada más, ¿no? Igual habíamos visto otros, ¿no? Camera is the most basic equipment in any and every production. In our lives, so many of us or our friends must have used a camera for capturing various events. So on TV, the camera is the most important and basic element or equipment for producing. Then, the lights. Well, there comes the role of lights in television production. Lighting any object or individual has 3 main purposes. Uno, to provide the television camera with adequate illumination for technically acceptable pictures. Recuerdo una vez que vimos en clase también cuál era la importancia de la iluminación en un programa de televisión, no importando si es un estudio o si es fuera, en ocasiones. Claro que efectivamente es un factor muy importante porque la iluminación te entrega el factor de interés por parte de la audiencia. Si tenemos, por ejemplo, no sé, un talk show y la iluminación es pobre o no acompaña, digamos, las personas que están, o los guests que están dando su opinión sobre algo, obviamente pierde motivación y pierde agrado y ya no es obviamente atrayente para continuar viendo. Entonces, lights, it's one of the most important factors in producing, ¿no? El segundo, to show the viewers what the objects shown or screen actually look like. Obviamente, para que la audiencia pueda tener mayor identificación de objetos o personajes, ¿no? ¿Cómo son realmente los objetos o personajes? Si estamos viendo, por ejemplo, una locación outdoor y necesitamos, por ejemplo, no sé, pues queremos ver que Alcohuas está nevando o está nevado, mostramos locaciones y hacemos una view del landscape con una buena iluminación, como corresponde para la gente vea específicamente cómo están sucediendo los eventos ahí, cómo se ve los cerros, las casas, maravilloso, que es el objetivo de mostrar cuán bonito es el lugar en este instante. Luz es un factor entonces importante con respecto a la presentación de individuals or objects. So lights also help us to know when the event is taking place in terms of the season or the time of the day. Lo mismo, lo que te decía, por ejemplo, un ejemplo de ir a grabar, por ejemplo, Alcohuas o Pisco Elqui, etcétera, que está tan hermoso. Efectivamente, al mostrar eso, la audiencia reconoce la estación, la hora del día. Es cuando muestran, por ejemplo, cosas que están sucediendo en Europa o en estos momentos lo que está sucediendo en los Estados Unidos. bueno, no sé, por ejemplo, la gente que, la diferencia de vestuario que tienen con respecto a nosotros, qué es lo que habla eso, por ejemplo, la gente que anda con shorts, con t-shirts, muestra cómo se llama que es otra época del año, no la misma estación que estamos viviendo nosotros. Lights da más información o añade más información que lo que se es dicho o lo que se escribe también, ¿no? Y finalmente, to establish the general mood of the event, ¿no? ¿Qué es lo que es el mood? Como concepto, ¿lo vimos nosotros?
El estado de ánimo.
Ciertamente, ¿no? Ciertamente. Muchas veces en un programa de televisión, por ejemplo, que son live programs o live news, cuando son esas breaking news, claro, efectivamente hacen las interviews a diferentes personalidades o personajes que están involucrados en algo y obviamente la luz, el poder, digamos, estar presente, te entrega mucha información sobre el estado de ánimo, no solo de las personas, sino que el estado en términos generales del evento, que es un estado violento, un estado agresivo, o un sentido de tristeza, etcétera, ¿no? La luz te va a ayudar. Cuando es una cosa que es agradable, celebraciones, obviamente, en Lightning es un factor que es incorporado para poder entregar esa atmósfera o ese sentimiento de alegría, etcétera, ¿no? Entonces hacemos uso como un recurso importante en una producción de un programa. ¿Qué sigue? A ver, tenemos microphone. Bueno, acá también habíamos visto en otro PPT, the use of mix. You may have seen a microphone being used by people to talk on various occasions. The sounds that we produce are very weak in nature and therefore cannot be sent to larger distances. Esto habla también no solamente de studio programs, but also outdoor programs as well. Pero obviamente, bueno, acá está la parte técnica, ¿no? Que this is amplified and sent to the loudspeaker, which reconverts them into audible sound. Cómo se transfiere y cómo se produce, ¿no? There are different types of microphones available for different purposes. Esto es lo más importante porque va a depender, como siempre, del tipo de programa que tú vas a hacer o el tipo de piece of news que estás entregando. Por ejemplo, un tennis match requieres de un micrófono específico o recording a rock concert. Maybe, for example, when you have the presenter's voice, or maybe you have a personal interview, etc. Entonces, cada uno de estos tipos de programas o tipos de noticias va a requerir de un micrófono distinto. Obviamente, como ustedes profesionales manejan ya la parte técnica, ¿no?, de cada uno de ellos. Sound recorder. With the sound recorder, you can select a specific microphone or other sound input. Ya seleccionamos el tipo específico y la entrada de sonido. Amplify a weak signal from a microphone or other audio source for further processing. Bueno, amplificamos esta señal que está débil, obviamente del micrófono y la mandamos como fuente de audio a proceso, ¿no? A edición. Control the volume and ensure the quality of sound. Ya, también lo hace, el control de volumen, la calidad de sonido. Mixer combine two or more incoming sound sources. Efectivamente, por ejemplo, si tú estás haciendo una live interview y tú estás con el micrófono tratando de grabar lo que esta persona, the point of view, the viewpoint of this individual, pero también tienes, por ejemplo, el sonido detrás, no sé, de una protesta o de un concierto de rock, etc. Bueno, en este caso, el sound recorder puede combinar o mezclar estas dos fuentes de sonido de entrada. Uno que es la persona que está hablando y el otro que es, por ejemplo, el sonido que está detrás de eso. Videotape recorder. As we all know that television is an audiovisual medium, we need to record both. Y tenemos audio and visual components. En este caso el sonido y las imágenes que van a ser utilizadas para el programa, ¿no? Noticia, documental, etc. Hasta ahí nosotros, mira, ingresé súper poquitos equipos porque los otros están en el PPT anterior. Entonces, hemos visto la clasificación de las 3 etapas de una producción de un programa de televisión. Explicamos el proceso, cada una de ellas, identificamos el equipamiento más utilizado, más importante, y nos vamos a la parte de description of the work profile of key professionals. Bueno, acá, ¿a qué se dedica cada uno de los personajes involucrados en una producción de un programa? En primer lugar tenemos el producer, que es the head of the production. He's in charge of the entire production. The producer manages the budget, acá el presupuesto de plata, coordinates with the advertising agencies, si es que vas a requerir sponsors en tu programa, actors or writers which are going to be included in this production stage. The producer is also responsible for the availability of good service for the crew. Obviamente acá el producer es el que va a ver, como dice anteriormente, el budget, que es el presupuesto, no solamente del programa, but also de las facilities de esta crew, si es que va a grabar fuera de un estudio, ¿no? Por ejemplo, no sé, si es que van a hablar, por ejemplo, de staying in a hotel, what about the food, what about the money for spending every day, what about the health insurance in other countries? Todo eso que tiene relación con dinero, planificación, coordinación, es encargado el producer. What about the director? Well, in a TV production, the director is in charge of directing the actors and technical operations. The director is ultimately responsible for transforming a script into effective audio and video messages. Bueno, el producer tiene relación con todo lo que es coordinación de programas de televisión, actores, presupuesto, etc. En este caso es el director, que es el que pone ya de manifiesto en términos más prácticos todo lo que es el script en mensaje de video, mensaje de audio, que sean efectivos y que se vayan a mostrar a la audiencia, ¿ya? Al público en general. Where the camera will be placed, bueno, yo quiero este tipo de filmación. Bueno, en este caso hablamos, no sé, si vas a hacer un tracking shot, si vas a hacer pan, si vas a hacer un walkie-talkie, vas a hacer un pull focus, etc. Es él el encargado de the placement of the camera. What type of visuals need to be taken? Bueno, esto es lo que requiero. Por tal razón, necesito, por ejemplo, no sé, tilt, que sea una filmación vertical, etcétera, ¿no? Él decide todo eso. Where the actors will stand, ¿ya? Todo lo que es posición de las personas involucradas, de la entrevista en un set, de las personas que van a ser entrevistadas en una reunión masiva, etcétera, ¿no? Todo eso tiene relación con el director, poner en práctica el script. Nos encontramos con otro que es el Current Affairs, que eso ya lo habíamos visto también en otro PPT, que reports news on social issues, ¿no? Por ejemplo, health, tracks, population, migration, employment, etc., ¿no? Todo lo que tenga relación con asuntos y temas sociales. Solamente encargado de esto, este Current Affairs Journalist. ¿Qué pasa con el editor? Well, el editor is the artistic force behind the TV or the radio, responsible for the whole program, supervises the staff, decides who does what in a program, advises and suggests what to include in a program, and can change the agenda. El editor es el encargado de este programa, en el cual, por ejemplo, tenemos ya en la post-production stage, tenemos todo encima de la mesa, esto es lo que vamos a presentar, etc. Se hace el script y obviamente en este caso el director es el que pondrá ese script en términos, los cambios también que se puedan realizar, lo realiza el director, pero el editor es el que entrega el script para ser presentado y para ser transformado, si fuese necesario, por el director in situ, ¿no? So there, reporter collects and reports news for a TV station. Okay, collects and reports. The researcher is a journalist who is different, because it's a journalist who finds some facts and information about an issue. Well, en este caso, la diferencia es de que no solamente entrega la información, sino que también hace una research sobre, o una investigación sobre un tema específico. Cuando, por ejemplo, hacen programas de televisión donde han hecho una investigación sobre algo, sobre algún caso político, se investiga fuentes anteriores, se entrevista gente para luego ser presentado en un programa de televisión, ¿no? O tal vez en un programa de radio. El correspondent, one is a journalist similar to a reporter, with the same duties, but differently from a reporter. The correspondent voices his opinion and the reporter doesn't. El correspondent in English, a pesar de tener una traducción como periodista, hay una diferencia en inglés porque el correspondent es una persona que tiene la posibilidad de poder entregar su point of view, su punto de vista sobre algo, sobre un tema específico. En cambio, el reporter en English, no. El reporter es solamente encargado de coleccionar y reportear o entregar la información a la audiencia, ¿no? En un programa de noticias, en un programa de entrevista, solamente entregar la información requerida. En ambos casos, a pesar de que tengan, insisto, la misma traducción como journalists. Okay. So, stop sharing.